Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. So this weekend I have driven a solid 5 hours this morning to get all the way out to Mount Gambier. So this is part of the Limestone Coast and this is effectively halfway between Adelaide and Melbourne. So 5 hours either direction, doesn't really matter, but definitely put it on your list because this is a well-known area for all of these beautiful sinkholes. Now the one I'm at now, you can actually just walk through the gardens, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm probably going to butcher the name as always guys, I'm so sorry, I suck at naming all these places, but this is the sinkhole, I believe it is. But either way, we're going to be checking out this. We've got the Little Blue Lake to check out tomorrow morning, and then I've also got a Kilsby sinkhole snorkel tour tomorrow as well. So lots to cram in, but let's jump straight in. Let me show you these beautiful gardens.
Now, if you're wondering how such beautiful gardens were created, and of course where the name was derived from, Mount Gambier is known for all of these beautiful and varying sinkholes. The sinkholes themselves were all naturally created, and this is just a result of the region being built on limestone rock. Now, over time, the limestone was actually corroded by the ocean, creating these chambers, and the chambers themselves collapsed, which actually created the sinkholes themselves, which is such a cool background story. Now, it wasn't until 1886 that James Umfenston turned this particular sinkhole into the beautiful gardens, which is exactly where the name came from.
So next on my list is the Blue Lake. Now there's actually two Blue Lakes. You've got the bigger one, which is just called the Blue Lake, and then you've got the Little Blue Lake, which I'll be heading to tomorrow, and that's the one that you can actually swim in. This is going to be one of the most random stop-offs, but at the same time I was like, I'm driving past, there's no point in bypassing it. So Earl's Cave is apparently just an underground lake, but it's kind of like on someone's property. But either way, look at this, it looks so cool. I might even get the GoPro and see if I can get in a little bit closer as well. So guys, my next bucket list item for Mount Gambier was the Yuan Ponds. Now, this is such a beautiful location, even though I'm unfortunately not able to dive it today because I could not find a buddy to save my life. But anyway, I figured I'd still come out here, check it out. I'm going to throw the drone up as well because it is such a beautiful spot. The water is so clear, which is why it would have been so perfect to dive in, but they just don't either do like tours in this location, or like I said, if you don't have a dive buddy, you just can't do it, which is why I booked the Kilsby sinkhole tour tomorrow instead. So let me get the drone up and I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory about these ponds.
Yuan Ponds is made up of 3 large interconnected freshwater springs, each of these averaging around 10 meters in depth. Now, the thing that makes these ponds so enticing for both snorkelers and scuba divers alike is actually the visibility of up to 80 meters, which is incredible. The ponds themselves are thriving in an underwater oasis bursting with life. Not only will you spot native reeds, garden leaves channels, but also rare native fish species as well. And I think a really important thing to note is that the whole area surrounding Yuan Ponds has actually been protected since 1976, which I think is so important for locations such as this. One thing that you really need to prepare yourself when you are visiting these ponds is that they actually sit around a chilly 10 to 15 degrees all year round, and this is due to the ponds being filled by an underwater spring, so make sure you do suit up for this one because you are going to want to stay warm.
I'm not gonna lie, considering I got up at 3 a.m, I am surprised I am not more tired than I am already, but I definitely have hit a wall. So it's about 4 p.m, so I've just come straight out to where I'm camping for the night, and I've just set up because I plan on having a relatively early night, but I am camping out at the Pine Country Caravan Park, I believe it is. And the cool thing about it is right out the front of my camp, I literally have like alpacas or llamas, I don't know the difference, but either way, super cute animals, not mad. So I'm gonna chill out for the rest of the afternoon, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning, super early, and we'll be hitting up the Little Blue Lake first thing in the morning. Morning guys, so I've made it out to the Little Blue Lake super early this morning as expected. So I got up at sunrise, there's literally nobody here. The water looks absolutely perfect as well. It's like so still, although it's not super clear. So I'm gonna have to like grow up the courage just to jump in, especially if I'm here by myself, but it'll be so worth it when I do. One of the perks of staying in a caravan park is it means you do have access to hot showers, which I was so grateful for after jumping into that water. But from here, I'm going to eat my breakfast and then I will be packing up camp, and then I'm just going to chill out before I head over to the Kilsby sinkhole. So I'm booked in for a 12 p.m. dive today, so pretty excited for that. Hopefully it is as cool as it looks, but either way, I'll see you guys soon. The Kilsby sinkhole is located just 14 kilometres outside of Mount Gambier. Upon arrival, Graham Kilsby welcomed us to the Kilsby family farm. This farm has actually been passed down over 4 generations, and they have ensured this beautiful location has been kept under tight control to ensure the safety of all divers and visitors. It was actually Graham and his father who dug out the sinkhole passageway back in 1984, which was such a cool history to hear from Graham himself. Fast forward to today, and it's one of the most spectacular dive sites and actually draws in visitors from around the world for all of the snorkeling, freediving, cave diving, and even gin on offer. The temperature year-round sits at about 15 degrees with a visibility of over 65 metres. As you'll see here, the light bouncing off of the water is something to be seen. The sinkhole itself is ancient, and over the years has actually been used for things like military simulation training, and to this day is actually still used for a training ground for the police. Alright guys, that wraps up this week's video. That was so much fun, and honestly all I want to do now is get back out here and actually do a freediving retreat. I think that diving down to the depths of that sinkhole would just be honestly incredible, but bucket list item, I will just have to come back for that. But as far as next week goes, as always, don't have a plan, but I'm definitely curious, where do you guys think I should go and check out next? Pop it in the comments and we'll see where we end up.